Welcome to Here's How We Get There. It's the daily show filled with conversations about business and mental health in a down-to-earth style with real-world language. Now let's dive in with your co-hosts, Kenneth Shark Kinney and Trey Tucker.
Shark in the news, Boy Scouts has decided they're changing their name to Scouting America. It's a big change for a long-time brand. So what do you think of the change?
Yeah, it's over 100+ years. And I think there's a couple of backstories behind this. If you remember some of the history, I mean, this is a 114, 15-year-old brand. I think I remember reading with rich traditions. I was a Boy Scout. My father was an Eagle Scout. My uncle was an Eagle Scout. There's a lot of big leaders who attribute a lot of their success to the values and things that they learned, as well as, how to start a fire and a lot of the badges and all the cool stuff that people used to do years ago when it was what it was. However, they run into a lot of legal issues with some of the scandals that have happened over the last several years. They were in bankruptcy. I believe they're emerging from bankruptcy now with this new rebrand, if you will. There were 2 million plus Boy Scouts in 2018, I believe, and now there's just above 1 million. So the whole idea of this is to rebrand and become more inclusive. I think the bigger story is that it's probably looking not necessarily to change values. I wish they would just rather say that, but a way for them to emerge and financially and get away from the scandals that have haunted them. Now, what's interesting as well is that the Girl Scouts sued the Boy Scouts over the trade issues that went around Girl Scouts being part of this with, selling cookies and all the things that the Girl Scouts do to raise money for their group. So I'm going to not tackle this from a cultural issue because we will make somebody mad somewhere in this mess. I think, though, that to not talk about this would be wrong. If they want to go after and change the values, that's one thing. One thing that they have done, though, so poorly is they are wrapping around some of this inclusive language, words like authentic and things, making sure that everybody is their authentic self and all this stuff. They're coming out of major issues that almost shut the thing down. And a lot of organizations try to tackle some of these social issues. It's part of the brand washing that a lot of people do. They're hurting. Whether you believe in the go woke or go broke or whatever mentality that you'll hear people on the right say or not, it doesn't even matter if they're failing because of it. But the problem that I have with the organization is that they're wrapping their name around this, trying to make it look inclusive, when to me, I see it just as a brand marketing play to stay alive. And I think that's unfortunate because one of the things is that I will attribute is the values that I learned as part of that, I'll never forget. However, I don't know that I would send my own son there anymore. I teach him inclusion at home, but I don't necessarily want that to even be part of an organization that teaches them how to do cool things like start fires and merit badges and all those things. That was never part of it. It was never even part of the issue, and it wasn't lacking in it. It's just now a brand play for them to survive. And I think that's the dangerous lesson that a lot of brands have to learn, that you can do these things for the right reasons, but when they're not the right reasons, don't use the language around it to wrap yourself in trying to fix that, because a lot of people see through it. And that's why their membership, at least in my view, has fallen off a cliff to less than half of what it was from just a few years ago.
Thank you for joining Shark and Trey on the Here's How We Get There show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit here'showwegetthere.com. That's here'showwegetthere.com.